This is video number 1 for Lazy Day, and it is a discussion of some ideas surrounding the chords that are given and how you might improvise and navigate through those chord changes. The tune has got this kind of cool gospel 6/8 sort of feel, and so what I'd like to do is to take each chord as a separate subject matter, and then I've created a play-along audio track that just stays right on that one chord in the first measure, and then the next chord in the second measure, etc., 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 so that you have the chance to really exercise those chords as they stand on their own. And then, after maybe you've gone through this video or videos, then go back and play over it in real time. So here's the first thing I'd like to suggest, and that is to take a look at the first chord. This is a concert F, or the 1 chord, and it says add 2. So if you took that triad and you added the 2nd degree, or as jazzers call it, the 9th, it's 4 tones of a very basic 5-tone scale, the major pentatonic scale, which I've outlined in the worksheet. But the other thing is that since the song has kind of a bluesy overtone to it, you could use that same major pentatonic and put the blue note in there. Which some musicians call the major blues scale. And if the spirit moves you to, although I didn't write it here, you could certainly use the minor blues scale as well. Of course, the minor blues scale has that dominant 7th in it, which gives you that sort of sound. At the end of the day, if you're only hearing this without the 7th, you might elect to stick more towards either major pentatonic or the major blues scale. So that's how I would treat that chord. The second chord is just a passing chord. It's in the first bar, and it's in the last beat on the 6th beat. It's a minor 7 chord. I wouldn't even worry about it. I would either use the same vocabulary that you have been using in the first chord, or the vocabulary that is yet to come for the dominant chord that's in bar 2. Let's move forward, and then in the next video I'll demonstrate a little bit more in real time, or in time rather, with the audio. The second bar is an altered dominant, or technically it's an augmented dominant chord. So that chord in the second bar is root 3rd, sharp 5, that's the plus sign, and then that dominant 7. There's so many things that you can use over chords like this. It's really a Pandora's box of information. You could stick with that same major blues scale that you had been using, not transposed, but the one that you had been using on the 1 chord. Which gives you that sort of, harkens that same sort of utilitarian feel that the blues scale has when playing over the blues. So that's one option. The minor blues is another option. Although I think the major blues sort of has a better sound, doesn't it? There is the altered scale, which you might want to check out. That's in the 3rd bar on the worksheet. Where you have the root, flat 9, sharp 9, 3, sharp 11, flat 13, flat 7, 1. And also the whole tone scale, which would be another alternative. And it's there in the 4th bar for you. They're very similar things. I'm going to move forward here so we don't run out of time. The 3rd chord that you use is a minor, or that's given rather, is a minor 7 flat 5. Now, at the end of the day, if you find that in its organic state in Western music, many people default to the Locrian mode, and I've put that here for you, the 7th mode, if you will. So in this case, it's concert B minor 7 flat 5 with a Locrian mode. Sounds great. The quirky sort of thing about Locrian in its sort of unadulterated, unedited state is if you play it tertially, or if you think tertially, playing tertially, there is going to be an avoid note. So far so good, so far so good, so far so good, so far so good. This one's a little bit of a stinker here, that's C. Because you get that flat 9 sound. Which leads to the second measure that I've put there called Super Locrian, or the 6th incarnation of the melodic minor, which is taking that 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, that's a flat 9, but if you make it natural 9, now you've got a chord that will stand on its own, tertially, and you don't have this sound. You have this sound, which is a much more inside sound. Kind of a very cool scale to get to know. Two more things. You could also, again, default to the minor blues. Of the parent key. This is the key of F, so of the parent key. Which would, I mean, kind of get out of jail free card. It would sound okay. But not, I don't think is as great as Super Locrian or the major blues, which will give you a little bit more. So any of those are worthy of experimenting. My choice would be Super Locrian. It's fantastic. You get all those chord tones and you get all those tensions. Gives you a jazzier sound. Okay? So we're at about 7 minutes here. I'm going to take a pause, talk about more chords in the second video.